Although the outing featured many moments of levity, Rick and Morty Season 7 Episode 10 provided a poignant, surprisingly deep ending for the anarchic show's latest outing. Rick and Morty Season 7 changed the status quo of the Adult Swim hit considerably. For one thing, this season replaced series star Justin Roiland as the voice of both title characters when the actor was accused of domestic violence in January 2023. For another, Rick and Morty Season 7 ended its biggest and most dramatic storyline ever in the middle of the season, when Evil Morty helped Rick finally kill his nemesis Rick Prime once and for all. While Rick was glad to see the demise of his enemy, Rick and Morty Season 7 Episode 5 made it clear that he was shaken by the episode's events. Rick and Morty Season 7 could have gone anywhere after Rick Prime's death, so it was somewhat surprising when the series mostly focused on lighter, sillier standalone stories in the subsequent episodes. However, the season finale explained this choice. In Rick and Morty Season 7 Episode 10, Rick and Morty were introduced to the Hole, a strange space that simulated the user's greatest fear once they stepped inside, thus allowing them to conquer it. By Rick and Morty Season 7's ending, the themes explored and through lines of the outings were addressed with major setups for Season 8. Morty was alone in the fear hole, all along, finale twist explained. When Rick and Morty emerged from the hole, they went home to find Rick's wife Diane in their living room via a miraculously timed portal jump by a dying Rick. Rick was seemingly reunited with his lost love, but he and Morty soon discerned that they were still in the hole, and this was all an elaborate ruse designed to simulate their deepest secret fear. Morty saved Rick from wasting away with the hole's simulation of Diane, but the duo were still trapped down there. This led to a sequence akin to Rick and Morty Season 7 Episode 9's hilarious death montage, as they repeatedly mistakenly thought they had escaped. Why Rick didn't jump in the fear hole in Rick and Morty Season 7's ending. This epiphany was huge for Morty, but it meant that viewers saw very little of Rick in Episode 10. After Morty jumped in the hole, the versions of Rick seen throughout most of the episode were just Morty's projections. The real Rick was intrigued when Morty told him that a version of Diane was down in the hole, and after telling Morty he would take his advice and avoid it, Rick seemingly ran back to jump in. Instead, he paused and placed a photo of Morty on the hole's wall of fame. One of Rick's biggest weaknesses is his hubris, and the belief that he can outsmart everyone, but this moment highlights his ability to change for the better. Rick's moment of humility proved that he went through serious character growth in Season 7 alongside Morty. By choosing not to jump into the hole, Rick clarified two things. One was that he experienced fear, and could admit when he's too scared to try something, even if Morty survived the experience. The other was that Rick had learned to value his life as it is. For the first few seasons of the series, Rick was a self-destructive anti-hero who constantly sought out dangerous adventures that risked his life. In Episode 10, he turned down a chance to see Diane again to avoid jeopardizing his current setup and satisfaction with Rick and Morty's Sanchez-Smith family. Rick and Morty Season 7's ending brought back its biggest theme. Rick and Morty has always been a show about the relationship between its title characters. While Episode 8 didn't include Rick and the Season 7 premiere scarcely involved Morty, the pair's dynamic is the driving force behind the show's action. As such, it made sense for the ending of Episode 10 to reveal that the Season 7 finale was at its core about why Morty needed Rick. Season 7's ending changed Rick and Morty for good. Rick and Morty's Season 7 ending set up a future in which the show's heroes could go on solo adventures more often. Season 7 teased this prospect throughout its episodes multiple times. However, Season 8 could now take this idea and run with it. Viewers may well get full episodes focused on one character or the other, since Episode 10 proved that Rick and Morty's heroes don't need each other to survive, but instead work together because they make one another better.